Hi, it's Rachel with Mojo, and today he and I are going to continue working on stays like we did last time. Now, remember the things that we like to focus with our on stays are the 3 D's, being distance, duration, and distraction. And I will usually work on them in that order. Mojo did pretty well with distance last time. I was able to get to the end of the leash just like this, but we need to focus a little bit more on the duration, and once he has a better grasp of that, then we can move on to adding distractions. Now, since I'm working outside today and not indoors in the garage, there are a lot more distractions that can come up. You know, he can hear cars, feel the wind, have birds fly by, bugs buzzing, that kind of thing. And so he will naturally get some distractions, and they're also distractions that you would run into every day and in a real life situation. So that's good, but the difference here is I'm not doing anything to purposely distract him. I'm not tossing stuff around. I'm not putting treats on his paws and telling him to say anything like that. So we're going to be focusing mostly on this distance and especially duration this time. I'm going to start him off in a sit because sit is the easiest to correct, even though he is good with sits and downs. And I remember last time after I told him to down once, he would go down every time I told him to stay. So we're going to skip the downs for now until I want to work on that itself. So here we go. Mojo, here, sit, stay, stay. Good stay, Mojo. Good stay. Good boy. All right, that was very good. I did have to correct him once there in the beginning. I gave him what we call a no noise, which is an ah or ah. As you can see, it caught his attention and he corrected himself, so that's what we want to see. The key to working on the stays is to back away slowly to test how much how good they're going to go. If you turn around and run to the end of the leash, of course, that's going to get his attention. He's going to get excited, so he's going to jump up and follow you. So be aware of what you're doing, and it's really important that we practice like this, slowly backing away just for a few seconds in order to work up to longer stays for longer times. Just like you need to condition before you run a marathon, he needs his training to condition him before he can do a marathon stay. So, baby steps is the way to go, and we want to do it in things that challenge him, but short enough and close enough for him to succeed so that we can really reward him for what he does right. Because he is good at this, he just needs practice on more distance and duration. Alright, we're going to work on the stays again, on the sit stay, and we'll see how he does. Now, a little note before I start again. Remember, when I say stay, I put my hand in front of his face like this, like a stop sign. That kind of reinforces the verbal command of stay. And because Mojo is so in tune to me as a handler, as I'm sure he is to you also, with that kind of attention, I want to stay away from telling him to stay when he's in a sit. I feel like anytime that I speak, he's going to want to come to me. So it's helpful just to be able to reinforce it like this a few seconds in to remind him to stay. Also, I came all the way up to him like this, and I made him stay a little bit longer before I released him. You don't want him to get up out of his stay as soon as you start walking towards him. So I'm practicing that he knows that he has to stay until I release him by just waiting here for a second before I release him. All right, now with that out of the way, we'll get to practicing some more. Mojo, come here. Sit. Stay. Stay. Sit. Stay. Good stay, Mojo. Good stay. Good boy. All right, that was very good. All in all, that was a little over 30 seconds. I had to correct him a little bit and do kind of like a preventative no noise for him because I saw him moving. I was reading his body language. But he did a very good job. He did do the stay for the full 30 seconds or so. And so that's really good to see. A big improvement from last time. So this tells me that he does know the command. He just needs some more practice and consistency, which is where you can help him. All right, let's try it again since we're on a roll. Come here, Mojo. Sit. Mojo. Sit. Stay. Sit. Stay. Good stay, Mojo. Good stay. All right, that was another 30 seconds, and he did very well. He didn't get up at all, except for a little bit right at the beginning, which that's understandable. A lot of times that's when dogs have the most trouble, like right when you're backing away, they want to follow you. And since they're on leash, they think that it's time to follow you. But that was really good. Now with him, because he is so in tune, the second that I say something, it seems like that triggers him to get up because the sound of my voice gets his attention and he wants to come to me even before he realizes what I'm going to say. So with him, I would suggest just holding out the stop sign for him because I think he does know what that means. He's really looking at me most of the time, which is great. And just reminding him with this after it's been a while, or if I see him kind of shifting or wanting to get up, seems to be effective and he knows what's expected of him. So instead of giving him too many verbal commands at first or reminders, try to use the physical ones because they seem to be working really well for him. Alright, since we've done a couple of sit stays, I want to do a down stay with him to see how he does with that. So Mojo, come here. Mojo. Down. Down. Stay. Mojo. Down. Down. Stay. Down. Stay. Good stay, Mojo. Good job. Good stay. All right. Again, that was excellent. When he got up the first time, as you can see, he inched forward, so I brought him back and I put him in a down in the same spot where I had him before. That's so he doesn't gain anything by getting up. He doesn't get any closer to me. He doesn't get to be in a different area. If it was like some sort of distraction around me that he wanted to get closer to, that wouldn't work because I keep putting him in the same spot. Try that at home. If he gets up on you, just correct him, put him back in the same spot. That will help. Teach him that he doesn't gain anything by getting up. He did that stay for a little over 30 seconds as well, which is really good. The down stays are easier to do for a longer period of time because the dogs are more comfortable and relaxed. They can even take a nap during the stay if they want to. And Mojo is very responsive and he's good with his down, but sit stays are more easily corrected, like I mentioned earlier. So it is really important to practice both. If you're going for longer than a minute, I would suggest definitely doing a down stay so that he's comfortable. But if you're doing more distractions or farther away, start with the sit stays. I don't think Mojo is ready for a full minute of sit stay yet, or too much more distance, but he is doing very well. I can already see he's made a lot of improvement since I last worked with him, so that's really good to see. He's doing a great job, and I think that you've been working with him at home too, which is showing. So keep up the great work, and I hope this helps. This was Rachel and Mojo, and we are working on stays.